months ago, the NPP's main focus was to convince the people of Ghana that President Mahama would go for a third term. Where did that come from? I can't understand. And when they are challenged, they are all over the place. So, 2-3 months ago, their main focus was on creating the impression that President Mahama would go for a third term. Kwame, I would be surprised. I would be very surprised if the Mahama I know attempts to go for a third term. I'll be completely surprised. It will be completely out of character. In fact, it will not make any sense at all if President Mahama makes the move to go for a third term. And I know he's a sensible young man. He wouldn't make that mistake. You understand? So they should drop that campaign. It's not going to happen. Mahama is not going to go for a third term. I'll be surprised. Indeed, if he decides to go for a third term, I will oppose it. Publicly and vigorously oppose it. You understand? But I know that he's a wise person and he would not make that mistake. And campaigns which are based on conjecture and so on are meaningless campaigns because very soon the conjecture is exposed. You understand? So they should drop that. They are now busily opposed to the introduction or to the increment of the energy levy. Bitterly opposed to it, saying all kinds of things. And the main message they are sending is that every E-levy is the same because it starts with E. You know, so they are comparing the electronic transaction levy to E-levy. All of them starts with E and therefore they are the same. I mean, what childishness is this? The problem is that we have a power sector debt which is ballooning, and some estimates say that now it has reached $3.7 billion. Where is the NPP's alternative to resolving that problem? And I haven't heard any suggestion as to how to resolve that problem, how to retire that debt. In any case, this levy is not a new levy. This is a levy which was in place when the NPP was in power. And the concept is not new. In 2001, President Kufuor introduced the third debt recovery levy. The same principle, the same rationale. So what are they complaining about? Now, this idea of electing a flag bearer sometime early next year and so on, it doesn't make sense. Look, it is not because their flag bearer was elected late that they lost the election so miserably. Because for the last 8 years, he was vice president, he had visibility and so, and yet he lost. So it's not about electing him early or late. That's not the point. And I think that they miss it. Now, the very structures who took NPP to election and failed so miserably are the same very structures which they are empowering to take such a major decision as the election of a flag bearer for the 2028 elections. Does it make sense? And many people have spoken against it. They won't listen. Many of their loyal party members are speaking against this. They won't listen. I mean, one of the latest to speak against this is my friend Eugene Boachi Entry. He has told them, it's not going to work. It's not going to improve our chances. They are not listening. President Kufuor has told them, it's not going to work. They won't listen. And so on. What are they in a rush to achieve? Another failure? They want to achieve another failure? It's up to them. You see, I've always said that genuine democracy thrives on the strength and vision of the political vanguard. In a bourgeois multi-party democratic era, that vanguard is made up of parties. Okay? So you need these parties to develop strength. NPP is developing weakness day after day is developing weakness. If the NPP becomes what it is becoming, if it eventually becomes what it is becoming, the democracy will be fractured. And listen, now you have the new patriotic party, which wants to make, whose leaders want to make Bawumia their flag bearer. It is there. Now, and my brother Philip London is saying he may confirm or deny or he may decide to keep silent. There is news that the movement for change is transforming into a political party. That will be announced in the next couple of weeks or days and so on. You understand? Its base is the New Patriotic Party. It is certainly taking something out of the New Patriotic Party and perhaps adding from other places and so on. That's a dent, a huge dent. Dr. Aboagye, what is called, Ba, has announced the formation of a party whose base will also be the New Patriotic Party. They should be worried about this. They should be very deeply worried about that. They don't appear to worry about that. They should go back to 1979 and look at what happened when we had the UNC and the what? And the PFP, you know. What happened? They haven't learned the lessons of 1979. Look, the MPP has many important thinkers. Many people who have a commitment to developing Ghana's democratic experiment and so on. I can go on and mention them. You know, many of them. You know, Kwame Pianim, Paul Afoko, and so on. So many of them, Kudun Pianim and so on. To what extent are these stalwarts being involved in the reshaping of the party? How come that today the NPP has become what it is? My brother, listen to me very carefully. Some time ago, regional chairman of the party, their caliber was that of Dr. Donko Fodo. That was the caliber of regional chairman of the party. The one who was in the central region, what was his name? You know, you should be helping me. Professor something. You know, and so on. This was the caliber. The contest for the presidential candidature of the party was between John Kufuor, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and Edu Buahini, and so on, J.H. Mensah. That was the caliber. Look at today's caliber. Look at today's caliber. Does that give you any hope? In any case, the point must be made that the deterioration is not just confined to NPP, it's everywhere. Some people that I hear and say that they want to be president. Wow! Ghana. Mother, there's one woman, anytime I hear her, said, what is this where Ghana has got into? That woman who says that her key policy is that when she takes office, everybody who receives governmental appointment has to swear by water paid for by unemployed people. And that is the solution to Ghana's problems. I say, my goodness, is this where we've come to? And then there's the candidate who wants to dig a canal all the way from Jamestown to Swami, you know, to send the sea to Swami and so on. And I just wonder, is this where we're going to get? Master, let's be serious. I mean, let's really be serious. Even if you look at the National Democratic Congress, and let's be serious. Look at the National Democratic Congress. My brother, let's be serious, all of us. Look at the National Democratic Congress. After John Mahama, they are going to struggle to get a candidate like him. No, honest. When John Mahama's term ends, in 2028 or 2029, January 2029, who are you producing as a replacement? It's a big problem. it is so very possible that the NDC may elect a presidential candidate based on his popularity within the party, and the people will reject him or her outright. It is possible. So the 2028 election presents all kinds of course, I'm not saying that there are not people within the NDC who can lead this country. I have tremendous respect for Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman. You know, I mean, she's proven it. You know, I mean, risen through the ranks in academia, participated in government with sterling record, and so on. Interesting personality who could very, very easily become the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress. But all of us don't know her health status. I don't know. You don't know. You are a leading member of the NDC. I don't think you know.
I don't know.
You know? So would that become an impediment for her? We don't know yet. And if that becomes an impediment for her, who else is the party going to promote? My good friend Kojo Bonsu says he wants to be president. Kojo Bonsu wants to be president. Well, maybe he has taken one step forward by being appointed as ambassador to China. Maybe. I don't know if Dr. Dufo has abandoned his ambition. I don't know. But if he hasn't abandoned his ambition, is he a viable candidate? Well, time will tell. Then there's my good friend and comrade Asedu Nketia. I'm hearing, and I believe that what I'm hearing could be true, that he also has some ambition. Is that true? He's popular within the party, no problem. He's popular within the party. But will his popularity in the party translate into a victory in the national elections? I don't know. You understand? So there are all kinds of imponderables. And then, hey, I have friends, oh my brother, I have friends.
Yeah, all your friends, all of them.
Everybody. Kufuor, my friend, Akufo-Addo, my friend, John Mahama, my friend. Everybody. I have plenty of friends, oh. And this is one of my friends too. This is one of my friends too, you know. And my very good friend, Julius Debra, he hasn't said so. But there are many people in the field who are saying that, oh, he's the one to go after Mahama and so on. And I'm wondering, is that true? Can that be true? If that is true, to what extent can he be seen to be loyal to this administration, which is headed by John Mahama and Nana Opoku? I don't know. I don't have answers. You know, what does he bring to the table? So, 2028 appears to be exceedingly interesting. I doubt. He's also my friend, and he hasn't told me about any such ambition. I would suspect that if he really was interested in 2028, perhaps I'm one person he would have told. He hasn't told me anything. I don't know. But in any case, even if he were to become the candidate, there are challenges that he must also overcome. And one of the challenges is that, unfortunately for us, our politics is still regional, ethnic, and so on. And that's a major challenge he's going to face. You understand? How is he going to convince the tribalists, the ethnocentric elements, the regionalists and so on, that we can move from Mahama to Haruna Idrisu? That's his challenge. I don't mind. I don't care if all the cabinet ministers are frafras. I don't care. I don't care if all the cabinet ministers are in Zuma. For as long as they're delivering and serving the interests of all the people of Ghana, I don't care. But there are some who care. And that will be a challenge that Haruna will face if he has that ambition. I don't think that he has that ambition. But if he had that ambition, it's a challenge that he's likely to face. Everything else told, 2028 is going to be interesting. And I want to be alive in 2028. I want to see 2028 happen and unfold before our eyes.
Clearly, 2028 poses an interesting dynamics for the NDC.
For everybody. For all the parties.